I'm Dr. Amanda Glaze with the Department of Middle Grades and Secondary Education here at Georgia Southern University. And I'm excited to talk about research in higher education science and how we can take a lot of the things that we've learned in K-12 education and apply them upward in order to have an even greater impact on what's going on in our classrooms at different levels. So one of the things about this is that assumptions always come into play with whatever we do, whether we're teaching in the classroom or interacting with other people. But a lot of times as professors and teachers, we don't consider how assumptions that we have about the students that we're teaching impact the approach that we take in the classroom, how we look at learners, and how we look at ourselves as teachers. So in the article, one of the things we look at is how active learning really does apply across the board. We've known for a long time that active, engaged learning in science is really where people make those connections and it really builds up our scientific literacy. And when we get down to it, scientific literacy really is the goal for all science education, not just in the past, but for the 21st century as we move forward with technology and so much more. So one of the challenges to this is that classes with 300 people offer a lot of nuances that we don't always find in K-12 education. And so we wanted to highlight ways that professors can work with their undergraduates and even their graduate students in order to make their post-secondary experiences even more active and really get into that engagement level with the students that they're teaching. So one of the things that we try to do is actively engage our students in ways in the classroom that help them engage in different ways outside of the classroom. If you're engaged in social media, you may have heard of campaigns such as Actual Living Science Teacher, or Women in Science, or Dress Like a Scientist, because so much of what the public sees when they think about science is this dry, monotonous, lecture-based, abstract concept of what science is. Or maybe they have this vision of scientists as people that are in lab coats that are always behind a microscope. But what we know is science is much more dynamic, so why not make learning science and the teaching of science really reflect what it is that we're passionate about? The reasons why we're drawn into our field are the same reasons we want to approach our teaching, even at the college level, from an active standpoint. We want to engage our students with the evidence. We want to engage our students in the social processes and dynamics that really do represent science as a field. And by doing so, not only can we encourage the next generation of scientists, the next generation of science teachers, but we can set a fire in them the same way that we have a fire and a passion for the things that we love that got us in our field. At the same time, we're increasing scientific literacy. We're building those bonds with the public. We're building those connections that we so crave when we talk to people about what it is that we do. So again, check out the article. Come and join us. We would love to engage in conversation about how to get your classroom more active, whether you're K-12 education or in higher education.